Episode 36.
Welcome to episode 36.
We got a late night pod.
Late night Labor Day, hanging out because we're
Hanging
going to a
out.
camp concert.
That's right. With two A's.
Have you ever heard of camp?
Two A's. Me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Do you like them?
I do. I don't listen to them a ton, but I like them.
Does Caitlin like them?
Same as me. It's
So why did you decide to go?
We're going with my cousin and his wife.
Oh, that's
and
why.
they really like them. And again, like I like them.
Charlottesville?
No, they're in Baltimore.
Oh, so they're meeting you.
Yeah, I think they're going down south too.
Heading down
Let me stay a little
south to
bit.
the
Anyway.
land of the pines.
Also-
on my way,
To North,
Caroline.
who is the state that holds Duke, who's right now playing Clemson at halftime, losing to 7-6 right now. Clemson got 7, Duke's got 6. That's interesting.
That is interesting. Clemson's going to actually destroy them in second half. Murder them.
Who knows? Who knows?
Murder them.
Who knows?
We got a great episode on the docket today.
We do, but before it gets great, it gets sad
Oh,
because we got a report for those of you who haven't heard. The beloved, legendary Margaritaville singer, who
legendary country guy.
legendary country guy Jimmy Buffett
What
has
do
passed away
you
at 76.
consider him? Like genre,
Vibes,
just vibes.
vibes.
Kind of like a beach. I consider
Yeah,
like
I
a
would say
beach
beach.
country almost, right? Like
Okay, so I would never call beach music country music, but there's the the feeling of it. I guess some of the story, like you think about like the shag dance, like
Yeah.
all those were kind of like stories, like shagging on the boulevard and stuff like that. It feels like it could be a country song.
which is sad. Great artist.
Sad, great, another great artist by some measures, Steve Harwell, the former Smash Mouth lead singer.
I had to ask a buddy
56.
what Smash Mouth was today.
And you're like, it's a smash burger that you just smash in your mouth.
Yeah.
Or was he like, hey now,
he
you're
never
an
said
all-star.
that. But that brought up memory how in Little League that song played. I feel like every game somewhere.
That song to me almost has a cult following in the sense that it feels like the song that everyone's like, oh yeah, I used to love that one. But everyone's like, yeah, we all used to love that song. We
Right.
all still do love that song.
That's a good song.
Did you ever watch the movie
classic.
Rat Race?
No,
It's in that.
I've never really watched any movies before 2010.
Yeah. Anything before, lame. How'd you even know it was before 2010? You're right.
I
but
just watched The Sandlot for the first time.
I know
last
you
month.
told me that.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? But it was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. Yeah,
One of the best movies
Great
of all time. It's a regular watch for me.
let's keep the depressing up.
Keep the depressing up. So
Cooper
medium
Kupp.
depressing,
Oh.
Cooper Kupp.
Let's keep the depressing up with Cooper Kupp.
Who
He's down
has a
on his
hamstring.
luck.
Oh, I'm gonna stop talking. Keep going.
That didn't quite rhyme, but
No, but you go
Kupp.
for it.
Tupperware.
Again, late night pod people. But he went to see a body specialist, I think, about his hamstring injury. I don't know. It sounds expensive. I don't know. Hopefully it's okay. I didn't draft him.
I think he's going to miss week 1, and I think, to be honest, it's going to affect the first few weeks is what it sounds like. He probably won't miss the first few weeks, but he's sliding on draft boards right now,
Yeah.
which is interesting for our draft on Wednesday.
Yeah. I don't want to give too much fantasy away because you're in one other league too, right?
Yeah.
So I had a draft tonight in a league without you, but the one we have together is Wednesday.
Yes.
So,
Which I learned
interesting.
my lesson 2 years ago the hard way. 3 leagues is too much.
yeah, I want to play.
2 is fine.
We've talked about it before, but I really, really want a dynasty league with people who are invested. I think that'll be fun.
And then just one other. Once again, can't
yeah,
do
like
3.
one dynasty and one
Can't
other.
do 3.
3 is definitely too much. I've done that. 2 is fine. It's totally
Agreed.
manageable.
Agreed.
But it's like you have to have a primary league and then a secondary league. Because especially when
Agreed.
you have players on different teams, it's like, who am I? Okay, if
The
I've got Travis
primary, the
Kelce
primary.
in one league and the other one, who do I want him to go off? Because I hate where like I want him to get between 31 and 36 points and I'll be good. That's just not fun.
I'm going to bring it up later.
No, bring it up now.
I was thinking because I watched it today,
Yep.
Black Mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
Like
I watched the first time yesterday
like any episode.
ever.
Interesting. What episode was it?
Season 6. So I watched 2 episodes last night and 2 today.
When did season 6 come out?
I feel like it was pretty recent.
I think I've only watched the first couple seasons.
Dude, I'm telling you what, that blows my mind, those episodes. They're insane.
They're so good. It's one of those shows though that's
It like
I'm assuming
mind
still-
screws you.
Yeah, it's very heavy too.
Yeah.
So
I don't
depending,
want to watch it again.
well, right, you don't rewatch episodes. They're very fascinating, very good social commentaries, but it's like I don't know. Sometimes in the season of life, there's too much going on, and I'm like, I can't do that right now. Other times, it's great and doesn't bother me.
It
But
bothers me.
dude, some of them are really dark. Some episodes are.
Dude, one
Yeah.
of them in season 6 was very dark, and I watched it right before going to bed last night. Bad move. Really bad. Really bad move.
Night terrors.
Dude. Really,
Oh, I used to get
really
night
bad.
terrors.
Dude.
Still probably do.
Bad move. So anyway, I watched 2 during the day. Me and Becca did, and I vowed we're not watching it tonight. But it just made me think of it because we said shows, and
That is true. That is a good one. FSU looked good. Going to college football
looks
back here.
great.
They looked really good. 31 straight points unanswered, I think, on LSU at one point.
Dude,
like,
because
and a half.
LSU was up 17-14 at half.
Yeah, and then they went on a 31 point.
Disgust.
Jaheim Bell, transfer from South Carolina, had some nasty catches.
So a little bit of preseason, or I guess early season hype. Jordan Travis, what do you think about him for the Heisman? He looked good against LSU, and he was definitely had some Heisman buzz before coming to that game. But
I don't know.
FSU really solidified their presence.
As Christian said last week, they're going to shock the world.
I said that, didn't I?
You did say that. And I said, I don't think it's going to be a shock if they do.
And they shocked the world.
They shocked the world without the surprise element.
Also, a couple things regarding that game, though.
Oh, yeah.
For the first time since 2018, Florida State had 2 players with 100 receiving yards. Think about that, dude. It's been 5 years since they've had 2 players ever. And they play some trash teams, too. Like, ever have more than 100 yards for 2 players, which is kind of interesting.
That great game. That surprises me that stats that low, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So, but FSU, it was a great game to watch. LSU, how do you recover from that? One of 2 ways. You either recover and just destroy everyone, just have like that chip on your shoulder the rest of the season, or you kind of fold. So it'll be interesting to see how they play.
And week 1, to Mr. Incognito's point, it's like you get if they recover, they win out the rest of the season. You get a lot of grace from game 1.
Oh,
because you don't have
100%.
preseason. You're essentially starting. It is a preseason game in a lot of ways.
But you lose confidence.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine personally. I think we'll see them in the SEC championship, but who knows? Other thing, I don't want to do it, but we said before, we're a high accountability pod. We've got to talk about South Carolina and UNC.
We watched that game together.
Watch that game together. Second half. So if you want to say
Second
someone's
half,
bad
yeah.
luck, I don't know if anyone saw the game went. Fingers pointing at Christian now.
Yeah, dude. It was
Could be bad luck.
bad. What I watched, awful.
This is a bigger topic. Trying to have a balanced offense in college football is so overrated.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like about 30 plays split, passing, rushing. We ended because in college sacks count as minus rushing yards, and so I think it was like -3 rushing yards with the
That's
sacks included.
so dumb.
With like 30 something plays and then 360 I think passing yards. It's like when something's working, stick with it. Yes, it's great if you have both.
Yeah.
But if you're worried about linebackers cheating back, it's like keep airing it out until they do that and then run the ball and bring them back in. Like,
Right.
I'm not saying don't ever mix something in, but when something's not working in college, I think you need to abandon it. Like the difference between college NFL is so big.
It is.
You can't treat, I mean, they're 18, 19, 20-year-olds.
Yeah. It's
So,
fast.
Yeah.
It's fast. Even though the Florida documentary, one of the guys said they felt like they could beat some NFL teams in like the 06 team or something.
The one that everyone went to jail.
Yeah.
For like half the teams.
Yeah. So, but yeah, dude, I'm upset because, you know, I'm a USC guy now.
Big USC guy.
I will say, though,
Mm-hmm.
May looked pretty solid from UNC.
He got rattled though, dude.
He did.
He
You're right.
he ended up throwing 2 picks and he
Well,
looked
one pick
rattled.
was his fault, but one pick was.
Well, yeah, one was off the hands, but
Yeah.
but 2 picks and he looked rattled afterwards. Like honestly, South Carolina, this is the excuse part of it. That's not really excuse, but like O-line just looked trash. Apparently there were a lot of injuries, which plays into it.
Yeah.
But even despite all of that and how bad we ran the ball, a few things go a different way, and the game could have looked way different, which is
Way
crazy.
different.
Like coming out at halftime, going for the onside, love
That
the
was
call.
nuts. Yeah,
The
that was
perfect,
nuts.
flawlessly executed. And then to drop the 4th down conversion, like I think in a lot of ways that was a nail in the coffin of the game.
Yeah.
Because think about it, the flip side, you come out onside
He
and then
dropped
get that
it. I
and
mean,
then go.
literally just like straight dropped it.
And he would have been down to the 30-yard line or
Yeah.
something at least. And so that one was a big momentum swing. And then with the picks and in the second half, there were a lot of times we were close in the red zone. And Juice Wells, he had one target early on, but that was it. And then Nick Harbor, the guy that we talked about in the offseason, is just massive, super fast. Think DK Metcalf. Both of them were injured early on, and they said that they were cleared, but I don't know if Nick Harbor even got in the game, and then Juice Wells having one target. I think they were still hurt.
Right.
So, again, it's game 1. The Braves, I think I said this in a group chat with some friends, but I'm like, the Braves kind of ruined a little bit of this football season for me because they got me used to winning, and I shouldn't ever be used to winning, especially as a South Carolina fan. And
The
so
Braves looking sexy, though.
they're looking good. But anyway, that's enough of being accountable. That's overrated. What is not overrated is the NFL is back. And let me tell you what. So growing up in the South, everyone's like super big on college football.
Yeah,
And-
not
and-
here. Not
not
where I
here.
grew up.
And I always liked NFL more than most other people. Now I like South Carolina more than any NFL team, but I like NFL as a whole
Better.
way more than
Yeah, I agree.
random college games. And nothing proved that more than when I was scrolling through last week, getting excited college football, football's back. And I look this week, I'm looking at the games. I'm like, oh, we got the Bills Jets coming up. Like,
Dude, the Bills Jets, I can't wait. And that's a Monday night game, too. Man, you have both quarterbacks with something to prove. Bills get knocked out pretty early in last year's playoff. But,
yeah.
And then, of course, Aaron Rodgers being on the Jets. So something to throw out here, though. The freaking Jets, dude. I didn't realize their defense allowed the second fewest points last year.
That's what I was telling you with getting the quarterback, and the Jets defense was nasty.
Disgusting.
That's when we were talking about it a few weeks ago. I'm like, that's why if you had even an average quarterback with the Jets last year, they could
Baker
have been.
Mayfield.
Honestly, Baker Mayfield, slightly below average, but he would have done more than Zach Wilson.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know, man. He gets rattled pretty easy.
You watched Zach Wilson last year.
That's true. But quick pivot, though. I want to talk about tennis for a sec because I watched some tennis over the weekend, and it is a good time to be an American in the tennis world,
Why don't you tell us why?
which is kind of wild to say because really in the last 25 years, America's really struggled in tennis. So 3 Americans are in the top 8 in the U.S. Open. 3. You have Ben Shelton, who's a 20-year-old who just beat Tommy Paul, who's ranked 14th in the world, who's
Related
another
Jake?
American. Not close.
Close.
But dude, Ben Shelton, his dad is the University of Florida tennis coach.
Whoa.
Ben Shelton went for a year, won the NCAA men's singles his freshman year, and then just went pro. And so he's 20 years old. This is his first full season. He went to the quarterfinals in the Australian Open, which is one of their 4 majors. And then he just made it to the quarterfinals in the US Open. And so here's what I'm saying, man. I think if anyone's going to challenge these top tennis players like Alcaraz and a lot of these guys coming up, it might be Ben Shelton. And one thing to note on him, man, he broke the US Open serve speed record over the weekend.
What
Guess
is
how
it?
fast he served a tennis ball. Take a guess.
I don't even.
So a fast,
Let's say one. I feel like it's faster than a baseball.
a little bit. Yeah.
132.
Close. So 132 is a fast serve. Like,
Okay.
that's like professional level fast serve. 149.
Whoa.
He hit an ace twice. 2 different serves were 149. That is insane, dude. The highest ever recorded in professional tennis is 152. The kid's 20.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I think, and he's left-handed. He's a left-handed tennis player.
That's gotta be weird seeing the
That's
serve
what I'm
coming
saying.
like that.
So him beating Tommy Paul was a big
Interesting.
staple, but he's playing, I think he's playing Tiafoe.
Yeah.
I think Fritz might be playing Alcaraz. I might get that wrong. But anyway, there's 2 Americans playing each other. So there's an American that's guaranteed to be in the top 4 in the semifinals, which is pretty sweet.
I know you love that.
I do love that.
I know you love that. Oh, man. Well, that's exciting. That's exciting.
So more to come on that.
More to come on that. Well, we've got a few exciting topics planned for the episode, but before we do, we said we're a Vibes podcast. We started a little bit low with some sad news. And so my man, Iceman, lift our spirits.
Come on, Ice Dog.
What is up, everybody?
He's in
This
nature.
week's Unsung Hero is a comeback story, and not the kind that we like to talk about. On June 16th, Tanner Houck, pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, took a line drive back to the face, and it was bad. Right below the eye socket, he fractured his face, and it requires surgery, including the placement of a metal plate in order to support the bone growth coming back. He's lucky to be able to see one, but guy came back and is actually pitching baseball games now.
Wow.
Which is cool enough. Good for him. I can't imagine the first time ball comes off the bat after coming back from something like that. But he decided to let his swagger out while he's at it. So Houck met with the doctor, and the doctor said, "Hey, I got something for you. I got a 3D printout of your face with the fracture." And so Houck said, "Man, okay." And so he takes the 3D printout of his skull and straps a chain to it, and like a G, just goes into the dugout with it on his chest, saying, "Here's where I've been, and I'm back, baby." Well, Houck looks to be a pretty good contender next year for the starting rotation again, and is the 2 or 3 guy for the Red Sox. But to come back from something as scary as that is pretty impressive in its own right. And in this world, it earns you this week's Unsung Hero.
Honestly, that is nuts.
It's so easy if something like that happens to let that like traumatize you.
Yeah.
That was like me. I got hit in the nuts one time, dude, playing baseball. I'm not kidding. It was like 7.
Cup, no cup.
It was like no cup. It was like I was 12 or 13 and a ball was hit. And that hurt. But really, actually, what really...
What a story.
No, but now I was thinking, because it wasn't that. What really actually did scar me, I was in 8th grade, and I moved up early to play JV in high school. And it was like JV versus varsity, this like kind of like scrimmage almost. But like someone was just throwing BP. So it's like our defense versus like their hitters. And I was playing second, which is my normal position. And a left-handed guy ropes it to me.
Yep.
Right? Pull side at second. I do the little alligator like I'm taught. Our field was, wasn't the nicest,
Probably the nicest in South.
It was fine, but it wasn't great. It hit something, hit this finger right here that broke, and I don't think I ever recovered mentally from that.
You were only doing backhands after that.
Yeah. No, but like I used to be just so aggressive on the infield, and I definitely went back a couple.
That reminds me, it didn't really scar me. In fact, maybe it should have. It did the opposite. But it's just kind of funny when I think I was 5, because it was too much context, but before we moved houses. And my brother got like a pitch back, the things you threw, and it would bounce back. And so I knew you kind of like threw it hard and it came back. And so I grabbed a ball and went up 4 or so feet from it and just threw it as hard as I could straight at it, not really knowing what happened. And it came back straight to the eye and just gave me laces. I was like, I didn't throw it that hard because I was 5,
right? But
I was like a few feet away and went straight back to the dome.
That thing was so fun. I remember that.
Yeah, those were awesome. I love those. So Iceman, after he said this, was like, don't at me, but his chain game's stronger than Ronald Acuña, which is crazy, but leads us into what a debate. First topic up, we have the NL MVP race, which first off, I just got to say, this is one of the most exciting ones we've had in a while. Obviously, there are more in it, but for the sake of everything, we're talking about Ronald Acuña Jr. and your boy Mookie Betts.
Yes, and the only reason it is exciting is because the last 4 weeks Mookie Betts has had. Bring that up.
For anyone who doesn't...
Like Julio Rodriguez type.
Even better. In the month of August, Mookie Betts hit .455 with a 1.355 OPS and 11 home runs, 51 total hits.
That's insane.
That's insane. So
11 bombs in a month.
Yeah.
And hit .455.
Like that is a career month.
So can I say something that
Please
I think
do.
You might agree with?
Yes.
I still don't think it's close.
you're saying then Ronald Acuña takes it?
I think if Acuña doesn't play another game, and Mookie hits another 7 bombs, I still think Acuña. First of all, Acuña is the first person to ever do 30-60.
And is that part of your point of like
100%.
whenever? Okay, so quick rundown of it. If you look at a lot of the stats, they're pretty similar. Like games
Pretty
played.
close.
I think Acuña hasn't missed one. He's at 136. Mookie's at 130.
Which says a lot.
He hasn't missed one. Durable. Let's go.
Cal Ripken.
Cal Ripken. Runs scored. Acuña's at 123 versus 117. Hits 184 versus 161.
Yeah.
Doubles both in 30s. Triples. Acuña has 3. Mookie Betts has 1. Home runs. Acuña's at 32. Betts is at 38, which is kind of nice because 11 a month. That's solid. That's solid.
Decent more. Yeah.
He's got 99 RBIs versus 85. Walks are about even. So on. Obviously, the big gap because. Pretty okay average. I forgot to mention that's a big one. 335 for Acuña versus 316 for Betts. But stolen bases, we've got 63 for Acuña versus 10 for Mookie.
Dude, I really think Acuña's going to have 35-70.
You said it last pod, and since then he homered in 3 games in Dodger Stadium. And don't leave this out. He had the hardest hit ball of the 2023 MLB. He hit it 121 point. I want to say 2 or 3.
More than Ohtani?
It was the 5th hardest hit ball since the StatCast started in 2015. So he hit it 121 something miles an hour, which I think several miles an hour faster. So the MLB has a stat of hard hit balls. You probably seen it.
Oh yeah.
It's 95 is what they consider. 95 and above is a hard hit ball. 121.
That's disgusting.
Disgusting.
That's 25% higher. than a hard
Absolutely disgusting. But
was that a bomb or a line drive?
So here's the thing. When you hit a ball that hard, you're like, that's probably like just a line drive out. It was 453 foot bomb, and it was still a line drive. Like it had a little bit of height, but it carried 453 feet to straightaway center.
That's disgusting. Once again, just adds to the accolades.
Yeah. So he hits a bomb like that. And so again, these are both incredible seasons. I think we both are on the side of Ronald Acuña running away a little bit with it. And here, because I knew you're a Mookie guy, so I was like, I might be debating you on this.
Yeah.
And so my arguments coming were, if you look at August for Mookie Betts, unreal.
Mm-hmm.
But Acuña's been very consistent and flat from like game 1 to now.
Right.
And personally, as an MVP, if you end up with the exact same, we'll call these the exact same stats. I know they're not quite the same, but like the same stats, and one person does it in a really hot month and one person just does it consistent all year. Yeah. I want the consistent all year for
100%.
me.
Well, my thing is like
unless it's October.
Very true. The only way Mookie wins this is if Acuña goes, you don't have to go ice cold, but say he goes pretty cold, finishes with 34 bombs and 68 steals, and then Mookie just has another 10 bombs and another like 30 ribbies.
Yep.
If he can get close to 50 home runs and 130 RBIs, that would be. But then again, I mean, they only have 25 games left?
Let's see. It's through
25 games. 26, whatever, somewhere around there. But hitting 10 bombs in 25 games is disgusting.
And the thing is,
if Mookie ends up with 50 home runs, it's the only way I can see this.
The crazy thing is either one of them could just get so hot with it. So the power speed combination, that's where I think the big separator is. No one has done. Or you're saying
unless the power of Mookie and the average and RBIs were so high. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's high enough to over trump Acuña unless Mookie has 50. Mookie has 50 bombs and 130 RBIs.
That could be different.
Yeah.
Assuming that Acuña is not also going off.
Assuming Acuña doesn't have 40 bombs and 80 steals.
That's a great one because I think so the 60-30 season or 30-60 season has never been done before.
Yep.
So he's a club of his own, which anytime you do something that's never been done before.
The only way Betts, if he has the same month he just had again, I think he has a chance.
But so
I'm not counting
what
him
I was
out.
going to say though is outside of the 30-60, realistically, he's at 63 right now. We were recording this on Monday night, so this is through let's see, today is September 4th. So the stats are through September 3rd, the Sunday of September 3rd. So 40-40 season, that's only been done by Jose Canseco, Barry Bonds, A-Rod, and Alfonso Soriano.
Yep.
So
all Hall of Famers.
All Hall of
except Barry
Famers.
Bonds.
But I mean, steroids, but insane. And so I think that Ronald Acuña has a very strong shot of hitting that because he hit 3 bombs in 3 days. Like, he could easily do it. He's been a much more balanced hitter this year, but it's no question of power. We just mentioned that he hit the ball 121 miles an hour.
If he somehow does 35-70, that's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, but it's not that far off. That's 12 more steals. Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. 7
steals and 3 bombs, which I think in 25 games, he can do that. 35-70, dude, that's nuts.
But dude, like these guys are going off.
Yeah. So I think we're on the same page. Unless Mookie has the same exact month, I think Acuña's got it.
Man, this is exciting though to have a race that's like this with 2 dominant. I would just say going into Dodger Stadium, I would have been pumped with coming out with a 2-2 split.
Oh yeah,
and winning the first 3 games. Oof.
Sexy.
Braves are
they're disgusting.
And then got a lot of hate for it. Again, I regret the pick of picking Orlando Arcia as the best infielder. I was biased towards shortstop. He was doing well. I regret it. I'm not afraid to admit that. But this is the thing with the Braves lineup. I just hope they stay healthy and stay hot because he hits a 10th inning home run to go ahead. Like the top. Okay, this is the top 5 of their order right now. Acuña's got 32 home runs.
Yep.
Ozzie Albies has 28, and he's missed the last. Well, he played a couple games in Dodger Stadium and then missed like 2 weeks before. Though. Yeah. Austin Riley's at 32. Then Matt Olson finally hit another one, hit 44. And then Marcelo.
He's tied for the lead, right?
Yeah, he tied it again. And then Marcelo Zuna's at 32 right now.
5 people above 30. Of the home run race, Ohtani's kind of been cold.
Dude, so has Matt Olson until the last game. And so
I think a lot of these guys, just because it's such a long season, you hit 32 bombs or whatever it was for All-Star break, like you're not hitting 32 bombs back half the season.
It's also just such a mental thing that when you get in your head, like Matt Olson had been 18 games without a home run.
Yeah.
And like he was still being productive. He was still scoring runs and getting RBIs, but dude, it goes to your head.
It does.
It does.
It does.
All right. Next up, Colorado. Boulder. What do we think about Coach Prime? What do we think about this season? What do we think about the game against TCU?
They're going to make the college football playoff.
Do you already hear first?
No, but they made, once again, just like FSU did, they made an absolute statement.
Because everyone, okay, maybe not everyone,
TCU
90%
was just the
of people
national
saw
championship game.
They were just, yes, it was a bad game, but they were still in the national championship. They
Correct.
still beat Michigan.
Still have a good program.
Still have a good program. Everyone's, again, maybe not everyone, 95% of people were saying Coach Prime's all flash like he did at Jackson State, not happening. They come out there, they win possession. They have 34 minutes versus 25 for TCU, which is big. And then 510 passing yards. Did you see Coach Prime afterwards when he was, Neon Dion was like, yeah, y'all are asking me why I started this person from HBCU who happens to be my son, and I just gave him the position. He's like, I don't know, is 510 passing yards good enough for you?
And I
mean, you got receipts.
To his credit, they also didn't really try to run the ball, which, once again, you don't need a balanced offense. That kind of supports your argument.
Was it you who said that he had a 200 passer rating? Someone said that in conversation. I haven't looked it up, so I didn't verify it.
I think he did. I actually think he did.
He had He went 38 of 47 for 510 yards, 4 touchdowns. Edwards had 3 touchdowns, 135 receiving yards.
200.1.
No interceptions.
Dude, 200.1. Set a school record for passing yards, of course, with 510.
DPs were looking nice, too.
The what?
The DBs.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what's his name? He plays both ways.
Travis Hunter plays both ways. He's the first FBS player, first person ever over the past 20 seasons to have 100 yards receiving and have interception.
And the interception was nasty.
Yeah.
Full on, perfect break, fully extended, diving pick.
Dude, Colorado this year, I don't think it's crazy. I mean, I think they're going to be definitely top 25 team. But I think they can crack the top 10.
I mean, the turnaround, I saw someone say that at this point, Neon Dion's playing with house money. Like, he just paid his salary with this game, and now it's just all house money.
Well, Colorado sucked the last few years.
Because they won, was it one game last year? They just matched their last year's win total already.
I think they wore like 1-10 last year or something crazy.
So, I mean, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid for them. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, me too.
I could go on and on. I've got a couple thoughts that you'll see later in the episode. But, I mean, listen, look at this. First downs, 30 to 27, getting total yards, 565 to 541. Defense obviously could step it up a little bit. But
I was about to say, defense.
Afterwards, it was fun watching the post-game presser, but it was like D-line was struggling, which I think's fair because TCU had 262 rushing yards against them. Only 279 passing yards, which that's pretty solid for where TCU was last year. I know they lost a couple people, but still.
Yeah.
Penalties, 35 yards. That's not bad to keep it under 35 yards.
Yeah.
Rushing yards, 55. Again.
Dude, overall, two major statements in week one. You have Colorado and you have FSU. I mean, two major statements already.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's going to shape up a good college football season.
Well, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, me too.
Next up, fantasy football.
Which everyone can't get enough of, except the girlfriends.
But they love the videos mocking us for it.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, exactly.
But like the ones going around, it's like, my boyfriend can't plan anything, but he's now in a suit getting a spread for his fantasy football draft. Yeah. Whatever. There is nothing better than coaching pretend football and being the GM of pretend football. And so, as pretend football experts who are probably somewhere in the slightly above average, below top of the league in respective leagues.
Respect.
So no platform to actually say anything about this. I was thinking, let's take QB, running back, receiver, tight end, and let's see if we can come up with a top 5 together in each position.
Bang. You ready?
Let's do QB first.
QB sucks. You know why QB sucks? The top 5 of the top 5, dude. Like,
yeah.
You have Pat Mahomes.
Consensus number 1?
Yeah.
Okay, Pat Mahomes.
Now the 2, 3, 4 can get interesting, but like the top 5, I think you have Holmes, Hurts, Allen, Jackson, Burrow. Like, and
then take everything off. We don't care about the rest of those 5. Now we're just trying to rank those.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying, like, even like if you consider like Allen or Jackson or Burrow, whoever's the 5th, like that's a steep drop off to like Herbert. Don't get me wrong,
or
Herbert's
like Jacoby Brissett
or like Fields. Right?
I mean, could have a great season, but I agree.
But that's a pretty solid, Anyways,
right. So
Pat Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes number 1.
Hurts, I think you have to go Hurts too.
I don't know if I'm sold yet.
Wow.
I think
in fantasy, you're not sold for fantasy. Hurts too.
In fantasy, because one, Lamar Jackson has the potential of just being nuts.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
don't know if I want to put him at second, but this is why I think that I'm gonna almost make a case for. I think Josh Allen will actually be second. Personally, I know you don't like that, so if we can agree on it,
said that because I fully disagree with
I know you fully disagree, but he's going to get good rushing yards. He's going to get a lot of passing yards. Everything's overhyped with the whole Gibbs or Stephon Diggs. Gibbs.
The racer?
the racer? With the whole Stephon Diggs argument. So that's ridiculous. What about... do we think Joe? Where do we think Joe Burrow?
You do your 5 real quick. So your 5.
I think my 5 would be Pat Mahomes.
Okay.
Josh Allen.
Okay. Take your time.
Man, this is actually tougher than I thought. Do you have yours now? If you have yours, go for it.
It's easy. Pat Mahomes, check. Number 1. Number 2, I think Jalen Hurts. I mean, first of all, he had an MVP-like season last year. I don't think there's any indication of him slowing down, especially with that Eagles offense.
Yeah.
Number 3, Lamar Jackson, especially in fantasy. Now, we're talking fantasy here. We're not talking about franchise QBs.
Yeah,
We're talking fantasy QBs. I think it's Mahomes, Hurts, Jackson. I think Jackson's going to go off this year, especially on the rushing side. 4, Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is going to have another solid year like he's had the last 3 years. Josh Allen, 5. I still like Josh Allen. I do think he's the most overrated top QB in the game. Guess who led the league in turnovers last year?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen did with 19.
They also don't kill your fantasy score that much.
They don't kill your fantasy score that much, but he's known to turn the ball over. And I think out of the 5 I just mentioned, as far as like offensive weapons now, I think they probably lag behind the most comparative to the other 4. Diggs is a monster, but other than that, you have Gabe Davis, who's, he's fine. They don't really have a great running game.
That's fair. I think, so one of the things I wanted to say to what you said is you said Lamar Jackson's going to go off rushing the ball. That's a given. I think we're going to be surprised at how he goes off passing the ball.
Okay.
You know what? I think I'm going to say Patrick Mahomes 1.
Okay.
This is all for hot takes at this point. Lamar Jackson 2. Because I think that we could be shocked at this passing game. We know what his rushing game is going to be.
I can get along with that.
Then
for fantasy especially.
I'm going to go Josh Allen 3, Jalen Hurts 4, Joe Burrow 5. I don't feel great about it, but like, I don't know, other than Patrick Mahomes being 1, I wouldn't feel great or terrible about any other mix up of these. You know what I mean? I
don't know why. I love Josh Allen as a person. He's an absolute great, like funny guy, great guy. I just really believe that.
I know. You're clear.
He's also 4-4 in the playoffs. I don't know.
We'll see. Okay. 2, running back. Should we try to do it together again?
No, you go first this time. I went first on QBs. You go first.
Well, let's see if we can try to get one together and see where we disagree.
Okay.
Do we want to go C-Mac number 1 overall?
Hold on. I would expect. Are we doing PPR? Well, I guess
let's do PPR.
Too. All right, yeah. I still think C-Mac though, number 1.
C-Mac overall, number 1. Okay, number 2. Austin Eckler, if it's PPR, it could be up there. Should we him too?
100%.
All right, 1, 2. What do you think about Josh Jacobs, number 3?
Why?
I mean, look at his numbers last year. He was getting monster like game. Like I think they're still going to need him a lot with Jimmy G and Devontae Adams. I think Devontae Adams is going to start to give Jimmy G a little bit of a deep threat potential, but I still think that Josh Jacobs is going to be carrying a lot of their offense. I think he's a really good runner. He's pretty soft. I mean, he's okay receiving the ball too. Like, he was getting a lot of points. I think Nick Chubb could also be there. Was there another one you would put besides Nick Chubb?
Yeah,
or Josh Jacobs?
I'm actually close on 3 between Pollard and Robinson.
Oh.
And the reason is I think Robinson, first of all, is an absolute animal. We can all agree. Robinson's an absolute animal. Plus, rookie rushers tend to have some pretty good success.
That is true.
Coming out of college.
That is true.
Also, I haven't done much research on the offensive lines, which I need to do a little bit more. But Cowboys, Tony Pollard had a great season last year once the spotlight was off Ezekiel Elliott and it was more on Pollard. Plus, Pollard's more of a receiving back, especially.
That is true. But how do you think not having Zeke's going to affect Pollard? Even with this, because they were at their best when they still had Zeke, but the spotlight was now on Pollard.
I think that's the main reason I put him at 3. I really think he's going to shine because I really do. As much as I hate to say this, I think as long as Dak stays healthy, he's going to have a pretty good year. Might have a great year, but I don't think he's going to have a bad year. I think he's going to have a pretty good year. They got some good weapons like CeeDee Lamb around him. And so I think Cowboys offense is a good offense from the start. And then Pollard is easily their number 1 back. Yep. And once again, He's solid receiving out of the backfield. So that's why I think
Yes. Okay. Now that I feel like where it starts splitting. So run through your 5. We've got C-Mac, Austin Eckler, Pollard 3.
I go Pollard 3, and then I go Robinson, and then
Yep.
it's tough for me not to go Barkley 5.
Okay. I feel the same way that you were saying about Barkley with Derrick Henry. It's hard for me to not put him in the
Derrick
top
Henry,
5.
fair enough. Yeah,
I
agree.
don't know if that's.
I
so
think they're
I'm gonna
both
go
pretty close.
C-Mac, Austin Eckler. I'm gonna go Josh Jacobs, Nick Chubb, and then Derrick Henry. I feel like this is the opposite of what we're talking about with the quarterbacks. I think Austin Eckler, especially with PPR, Austin Eckler and McCaffrey are going to be like the top 2.
Number 2.
And then I think that based off of the season, like, I mean, Aaron Jones could be kind of up there. Obviously, Bijan, like Latavius Murray, like
Stevenson could low-key be up there if they can figure out the New England offense a little bit. They got Juju now, too.
Brees Hall, like
Brees Hall, too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's more here. And I've seen a lot of draft strategies that are saying that if you can get a running back, like one of the top running backs, and if you have like one of the first couple picks, do that. And if not, you go receivers.
Or get Kelsey.
And then come back. Yeah. Or get Kelsey, which I've done in 2023.
So close. I'm surprised you left Pollard and Robinson off your top 5.
It was more of like in the quarterback, I was leaving people out of the top 5, if that makes sense. In the running back, it was more of I only had 5 to put in. And so it's like I had to leave someone out that I wanted to. All right, receivers.
Wide receivers, baby.
Justin Jefferson?
Easy. Yeah, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. I feel like
yes,
the first 2, as long as Burrow's healthy, and then as long as Kirk Cousins is healthy.
All right, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Question mark at QB, but I like Tyreek Hill 3.
It's tough not to say Tyreek Hill. I agree. It's very tough. The quarterback situation definitely scares me, but Tyreek Hill is an absolute animal.
Okay. I like it when we're agreeing. 4. I could be swayed here. Let's throw out some names. Devontae Adams.
Okay.
Do you think Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, AJ Brown, Cooper Kupp, CeeDee Lamb. Oh, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think I'm going to put him at 4.
I was definitely putting him in my top
Justin
5.
Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
He's definitely 4 or 5 for me.
All right. Then who would be the last one that makes the cut? Because if you pick someone ahead and you're like, I want to put him at 5, I'm okay with that.
So for me, it's either one of 2. It's either Diggs or Lamb. Rounds it out. As much as I hate to say this, Lamb.
I thought you were going to say the other way when you phrased that.
Because I hate the Cowboys.
That's true.
But Dak has a lot to prove this year. CeeDee Lamb is his number 1 target on offense.
Yep.
They had some really good chemistry last year before he went down.
I like it, but I'm going to mix it up, and I'm going to go Stephon Diggs just to separate
fair.
a little bit. All right, and then tight end, 1, don't talk to me if you don't agree, Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
2, okay, so then after there, the ones that I want to throw in there, Kittle, Mark Andrews, Goddard, Taysom Hill. I feel like as a player, I don't know, we're talking fantasy, so I don't know if it's here, but as a player, playing quarterback, tight end, whatever else he played last year, that's kind of nuts. The other one would be Ingram, because he was a top receiver for the Jags last year. Evan Ingram.
Yeah.
So, and then you've got Hawkinson, you've got Higbee. But why don't you take it away?
So, my top 5 tight ends actually, I've done a lot of research because I'm trying to trade for a tight end in fantasy. So, Kelce, obviously. 2 is going to surprise. It's TJ Hawkinson. I think he has the most potential to be close, not to Kelce. Once again, I don't believe he's going to have a Kelce-like season.
Well, let's just say he's close to being a good top receiver.
I think he's close to being. I think Kelce might end up with 16 to 17 fantasy points per game. I really think TJ might end up with 13. So average fantasy points a game. So I think it's Kelce, Hawkinson.
Okay.
And then I think it's Andrews, who gets so many targets, and we both agree Lamar Jackson's going to have a great season, and he's one of the top targets in the Ravens.
Yep.
4, I think I have to go Waller.
Over Kittle? And okay.
just because Kittle is a little banged up.
Dude,
And I don't know, man. This is the way I think. I think that teams are going to have a lot better game plan around Brock Purdy this season. So I'm just nervous.
I know that you're not a Purdy guy.
You're
not. No, you're not. You've been.
It's not that I'm not a Purdy guy. I just think that
you are. There are receipts. You are a strong doubter of Purdy.
I'm a strong doubter of Purdy being a top 10 QB this year is a very fair statement.
Right, but I would say like you've been on record saying you don't think he's going to make it to the year without getting hurt.
Because of the major injury he had last year.
Yeah. I'm not debating why you said, but like you said that you've said that you don't think or that things are gonna or that teams are gonna have a better game plan.
Yep.
You even before said that there was no chance he was gonna be the starter coming back this year because of the injury.
I didn't think so, but he is. So keep proving me wrong.
We'll see. You also said that you don't think he can win a Super Bowl.
But I don't think so. I don't think he can, man. Anyway, who knows?
Okay, I'm gonna go. Did you get the fifth?
No, I did not. So my fifth is between three dudes, which is tough for me because I'm trying to trade for some of these guys. Kittle, I think is definitely top. Definitely top 5 conversation. Goddard, who I like a lot, who had a good season last year, and I think might have an even better one this year. And then the young guy out of Atlanta, Kyle Pitts.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So anyway, 5 I think is Kittle with 2 close picks, Goddard, Pitts. I like Kyle Pitts a lot, though.
Dude, I'm not putting him in my top 5, but I would love to put Hayden Hurst in because obviously biased towards South Carolina and then Carolina. But easy. Not easy necessarily. Travis Kelce, number 1. Huge Kittle guy. Kittle, number 2. Mark Andrews, 3. I don't hate Hawkinson, 4. And then Goddard, 5. That's mine.
Okay.
All right, I know where you stand. I just heard yours.
I don't love Kittle, but yes.
I know you don't.
I think he's getting old, too.
Okay. Picks of the week.
I'm going to keep crushing Kittle.
Hater of the 49ers. Picks of the week. This is
Picks of the sexy week.
We're just throwing some stuff out. Hot takes that we think strong probability of happening. Who knows where they can come from? Just every week you can get stuff.
We're going to do 3 to 5 picks every week, depending on what we feel. And
any
could
sport.
Be any sport, and it could be any pick. So
it could be player props. It could be,
hey, the line is Aaron Rodgers throws 3 TDs. I think he's throwing 5.
In fact, I'll start it off with, I think this week, C-Mac's going to have a touchdown and 100 all-purpose yards.
Is that what the line is?
I have no idea. That's my line.
I think that's a pretty fair line. So for me, it's going to be a starter of a spread. So I think the Commanders are going to cover their -7. They're going to cover against the Cardinals. Cardinals lost its last 7 games of the 2022 NFL season. Oh, and they also don't have Kyler Murray. So I think it's pretty safe to say, in my opinion, that the Commanders are going to cover the -7 spread.
Interesting. Okay. Next up for me, we've got the Dolphins-Chargers game. I'm liking the over 51. I think J.C. Horn, another South Carolina guy, has been looking nasty in practice.
Which pisses me off that he's not a Panther.
Not J.C. Horn, Cam Smith. J.C. Horn, obviously. I'm sorry, South Carolina just has so many good DBs. Jalen Ramsey's out, though. But I think the Dolphins are going to put up some numbers. You saw their offense was crazy last year when Tua's healthy. You've got Waddle, you've got Hill, you've got so much speed in the backfield. Like, they're going to score. I also really like the Chargers offense right now. Like
Herbert,
you've got healthy receivers, Eckler, Herbert, like
it is
Quentin
disgusting.
Johnson. Like, they're going to be nice.
Oh, they did get Quentin Johnson. That's true.
Yeah, and then Williams, Keenan Allen, they look good. And then you saw, you've got Joey Bosa, but like their defense struggled a lot against the Jags in the playoff game. I know that things have changed since then, but I'm just like, they're going to give up some points. The Dolphins are going to give up points, and both of them high-octane offenses. So I like the over.
Maybe a 35-28 game, something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So my second lock.
Also, I just like the overs. They're more fun.
They are more fun, dude. You're exactly right. Jets to beat the Bills. So Bills are favored 1.5 by 1.5.
You hate Josh Allen.
I don't hate. I like him. I like him as a person. I just think he's the weakest top 5 QB. I think Aaron Rodgers has a lot to prove. I also think the Jets, first of all, as we talked about earlier, gave up the second fewest points as a defense in 2022. I think they're going to cause some problems for the Bills on Monday night. Aaron Rodgers always, that's a very broad statement, most of the time plays very well in primetime games.
Often does it well.
But he does. Most of the time, Aaron Rodgers plays very well in primetime games.
You're not wrong there.
So I think Jets beat the Bills on Monday night.
So what I'll say to that is I stayed clear from this game with any thoughts because I legitimately don't even know what I think or want from this game. I'm very excited to watch it, but I don't know.
It's like you're playing the field in college and you don't know like if you want to date or like what, that type of thing.
Yeah, sure. That's a good one, I guess. All right, we've got Green Bay playing the Bears. I think this will be a fun one. And I think Christian Watson and DJ Moore are both going to have receiving touchdowns.
Oh.
It could be wrong.
I have both of them on my fantasy team.
I know you did. I thought about you when I put that down.
Yeah.
Because Christian Watson, wide receiver 1 in Green Bay.
Yep.
I think Moore's doing things in Chicago, so I don't know.
He's wide receiver 1 in Chicago.
Again, I don't say this with a lot of confidence. I just want to see it happen, and I think there's a good chance. So.
Well, they're picks of the week, and we should call them far shots of the week.
Yeah, there's a reason they're called picks of the week and not locks.
Oh, I'm calling mine locks. Another lock. Lock 3 for Christian. Actually, we'll say that for 4. So for 3, the Golden Eagles, Southern Miss, are going to cover the 30.5 point spread against the Florida State Seminoles.
And we're talking probably by 28 points.
Yeah. It might be like 24 or 20, but I do believe they're going to cover 30.5 point spread because Florida State is coming off of an emotional victory at LSU. Obviously, they're looking at Southern Miss like another stomp over game. I think they're going to play hard, but I don't think they're going to give it their all by any stretch. I think Florida State wins it 40-14.
Here's where I don't like that. Florida State put up 31 on unanswered on LSU. I know you're big on like the emotional game overlooking the next one. I don't think that happens as much on really good teams. I think Florida State's a really good team. I like them to cover, personally.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
But again, to each their own.
We should keep record of the locks, though.
I think it'll be depressing for both of us.
Yeah, for sure.
But maybe we should. We'll write back in like 3 weeks, 4 weeks in. All right, another lock. That's not a lock. It's a pick. You got me saying it now. Dude, I told you I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I told you you're going to hear more later. I like Colorado to beat Nebraska. Let me tell you why.
Tell me why.
I told you I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. They're electric. But listen to this. Marcus Satterfield, I had to watch him be the offensive coordinator for South Carolina for a while. And I have zero faith in him. Zero faith. In fact, I have very strong faith against him. Yes, there are some dumb plays that Nebraska had. The only score was like, what was it? The flea flicker was the touchdown and then a field goal. Like, I don't like their offense. I think given Colorado's defense, they're probably going to put up some. But Nebraska's quarterback, he was already a little bit all over the place. And with Colorado's DBs, that could be dangerous. I think Colorado is still going to find a way to score against Nebraska. Where this could go south is I think if Nebraska's smart, they try to just like run the ball and like pound it on Colorado. But even still, I think Colorado's offense is just too much because Nebraska can't compete if it becomes a shootout. And that's where I think that it has potential with Colorado's offense.
Here's some interesting things about that game, though.
Yep.
Matt Rule. That's him being Nebraska's head coach now, come from our favorite Carolina Panthers, where he sucked.
Where he took the plane and just...
But he is a great college football
He's a great coach.
He's a great college football coach. He is. He's turned programs around. Now, you know what's
who
weird
else has
about
turned
this?
programs around?
Lou Holtz.
Neon Dion.
You know what's weird about this game? Colorado's a 3.5 point favorite. But you know what's weird? You know the power index, like that computer simulation?
Yep.
The college football power index simulation, whatever, predicts Nebraska at a 59% chance to win.
So
how does that make sense?
I haven't looked at odds for this one. I was just looking at...
But how does that make sense?
I think it's because... This is a whole nother conversation, but I think sports gambling sites, they they treat it. It's not like you're at a casino playing against the house. My opinion is that it's more like they get their 6% commission because they want, not always, but they want to try to get equal odds because it's plus like 110. So they're getting their paycheck either way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that Colorado is now so hyped that to get a somewhat balanced both sides, you give them more favorable odds. And then, but I think that.
So hammer Nebraska.
No, I don't think Nebraska's going to win, but I think that's why there's that discrepancy between.
I hope
the
Colorado.
sides.
I really hope Colorado. First of all, I hope Matt Rule goes 0-10. I mean, I hope he
0-12?
loses. I hope he gets fired after the 10th game.
He seems like a nice dude.
Piss off, Matt.
I didn't want to like him because he was kind of bad mouthing Carolina and everything. But also, Tupper sucks. So the Matt Rule could be right. I don't know, but he seems like a good dude. So whatever, take that.
No.
Do whatever you want with that. Do you have any more?
So my fourth, which is actually a bold prediction. I'm not calling this one a lock.
Yep.
I'm calling this a bold prediction. I hate saying this. I hate it. I hate it.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Patriots beat the Eagles on Sunday.
Wow.
Why do I think this, Christian? Well, Bill Belichick.
Hold on. Why do you think that, Christian?
Thank you. Bill Belichick, first of all, it's at Gillette Stadium.
Okay.
Bill Belichick had the whole offseason to prepare for the defending NFC champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. We know Bill Belichick's a genius. We also know the Patriots have upgraded some offensive weapons, like Juju Smith.
Or Zeke.
And like Zeke. So the Patriots offense should be better. And then as well as Bill Belichick's schemy strategy mind. And also the Eagles are coming off a great season.
Yeah.
Makes me nervous for week one. So this is my kind of.
Is it an emotional hedge more maybe?
I don't think it's an emotional hedge as much as it's confidence in Bill Belichick's game plan week one in Gillette Stadium.
Okay. That's fair.
But it's supposed to be, the odds are +4.
Could be a great
for the
game.
Patriots. So it's supposed to be a close game anyway.
I think that this could be a good year for Mac Jones. I wouldn't be shocked if it's not, but I think that it's like with Bill Belichick.
Yep.
Mac Jones wasn't terrible last year. He wasn't great, but I think he has a lot of the weapons and things that it needs, or tools, I guess is a better word, that it takes to be a good QB. And so I wouldn't be surprised if he has a season that really kind of changes the trajectory of his career.
One way or the other.
Maybe that's a better way of putting it.
Yeah.
Like, I think this will be a very big season, a career-defining season.
I like it. I agree.
All right. To baseball now. I think Matt Olson will have hit 46 home runs total, not in the next week, by next episode, by episode 37.
By the time it releases?
Yep. He went on an 18-game cold streak, hit his 44th in the last game they played. I think he just needed that one to unlock a little bit. So I think he's going to hit a couple more home runs over the week.
It's fair.
So that's the
I hope so. I hope he
pick.
gets to 50. That'd be fun.
Yeah, 50 by next episode. Let's go.
No, but just in the season. That'd be fun.
Oh, yeah, that would be huge.
Yeah.
Because the Braves are still on the cusp of the pace for the all-time single-season home run record. So that's going to be really fun down the stretch. And they're on the cusp for they don't really have I guess potentially, but don't really have a shot at the Mariners record for the best record of all time. But they do have a strong chance to beat the 98 Braves. So,
which Chipper Jones, I mean, are you kidding me? That was when they had Greg Maddux too, right? John Smoltz.
Did I tell you it was against the Mets. So it was a couple weeks ago. They've been doing this a couple times this season, but like had all players booth. And so it's like Tom Glavine, John Smoltz, Chipper Jones, and Jeff Rancourt.
That's awesome.
And then they called in Greg Maddux, and then Brian McCann was in the stands, and they brought him up. And it's just like so fun.
Dude, Brian McCann was a beast too.
What a beast. But dude, a couple funny things I've seen Greg Maddux do. I said the stat on the podcast about how he's faced like 21,000 batters, and like 100, I think it was like 33 of them ever went to a 3-0 count that wasn't an intentional walk. He was like, I just throw a strike on the first pitch. Because if you look at the league average, it's like 0.68 or something on the first pitch. It's like, get your strike out of the way,
right,
and go. And like, I saw another stat with him where the number of complete games that he threw under like 90 pitches, like he was very productive, and he had that like
change up too.
And the sinker, like the two seam. I didn't realize. Fun fact: I didn't realize that a sinker and a two seam were the same.
I didn't either.
because I was looking it up and someone asked me, because we were at the Mets game, watch Shohei play. That was a good time last week.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
You never told me
we
that.
were out in right field trying to catch a Shohei bomb.
You mentioned you went to New York and you failed to mention that.
I forgot. But yeah, we got to see Shohei play, and he had
How much were
a double.
tickets?
It weren't too bad.
Okay, cool.
It was good seats. Enjoyed it. But what I was about to say with that, my buddy was asking me like how many pitches there were, and I started listening to them, and I think it got like close to the right amount. But then I was looking it up afterwards, and I think I added another one. And I was like, I don't see two seam anywhere. And apparently they're the same pitch.
Really? I never knew that.
Never knew that. Anyway, he had a nasty two seam. And so super effective with it. The other thing is he was talking about facing Barry Bonds. And he was like, it wasn't that hard. You just walk him.
Yeah, just walk him.
He was like, he was so much better than everyone else. It was easy to pitch to. Go to first.
You just walk him.
And I saw someone else talk about the first time they faced Barry Bonds. They're like, yeah, let's see what you got. And he's like, really? He's like, yeah, just like challenge him down the plate. And he like took a couple and it was 0-2 and then just like straps up. He's like, let's go. You're gonna challenge me, and then just like throws one off the wall. I don't think it was a home run, but he's like, okay, yeah, we learned that he's way better than you. Anyway. That was for Iceman.
No Hall of Fame.
That was for Iceman.
Right.
You ready for some more hot takes?
I'm ready.
Some undercover hot takes from Mr. Incognito.
What's up, guys? This is Mr. Incognito checking back in. First off, I'd like to say sorry to anyone I led astray on the South Carolina Gamecocks last week.
Accountability.
Apparently, they decided to start some frauds on the offensive line. Spencer Rattler, I thought, played a really, really good game considering the circumstances. But if that line does not improve, I do not know how many games they're going to win this year. I don't think it's going to be super pretty, so I'd hold off on betting on them for now. I would also like to double down on the pick that the Georgia Bulldogs will not repeat as three-time national champions this year. And I would also like to double down on the fact that Florida State is going to make the college football playoff. They looked amazing this week. LSU looked pretty good in the first half, but the second half did not look so great. But I still think they might be able to turn it around and make some noise in the SEC West there. In terms of picks for this upcoming week, Alabama plays Texas. I think they'll handle business there. Ole Miss plays Tulane. I think Ole Miss handles business. And aside from that, there's not a ton of intriguing games. Something I would like to bring to light, though, is Oregon State's quarterback, DJ Uiagalelei, who many of you may recognize from being on Clemson's team for the last couple of years. Well, he's probably going to make a lot of noise in the Pac-12 this year. He had 5 touchdowns last week. A pretty sensational quarterback overall, and I think that he was just kind of held back by Clemson's system over the last couple of years. So just keep an eye out for him. I think he's going to make some noise over that way. And, yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, guys. Catch you later.
Dude.
Catch you later, baby.
Catch you later. Just had to look it up. Right now, Clemson's down 21-7 with 8 minutes left in the fourth.
Shut up.
Duke's beating them 21-7. So, I mean, I'm here for Uiagalelei having a season and Cade not. Clemson not.
Smokes.
So, again, who knows? There's still time left. I might be eating my words, but interesting. Had to report it. Had to do the due diligence there.
Dude, that'll be interesting.
South Carolina's offensive line.
All I'm saying, it was painful to watch.
All I'm saying is we would have been better off with flag football rules, putting our hands behind our back, even letting the defensive players still put their hands on us and just like trying to get in their way.
Dude, you would have been better off if you would have had like JV high school. Dude, it was bad.
And we've had a bad O-line for a while, so I'm used to it, but it was so painful.
You got to get some more O-line. Get a new O-line coach.
Something's got to happen. Because Spencer, again, played really well and is going to maybe be on life support in a few weeks if it keeps up. So hopefully not. Knock on wood. Obviously don't want that for
Thanks,
anyone.
Mr. Incognito.
Thanks. Next up, though, we got the draft.
Yep.
We're going to do best college football rivalries.
We're doing 3 or 5 picks.
Let's do 3 picks.
3 picks?
Even
do
episode.
I go first?
Once again, even episode, who goes first?
You do.
Oh, bummer. Yeah. All right,
this
first
is an
up,
easy one.
I'm curious with the same track, especially in the last couple years of college football. number one, you've got to do Michigan, Ohio State.
Oh, wow. I would not have said that.
Interesting. It's don't know why you wouldn't have said that. When you've got both of them being top teams every year, there have been like a number of times they're either undefeated or close to undefeated. Classic rivalry. I don't like either team. I especially hate Ohio State, but I'm going to throw that out there.
It's fair. It's a great rivalry. For me, they're number one, Army-Navy. I mean, you can't beat an Army-Navy football game, and no matter how bad or how good both teams are or one team is, it's always a dogfight.
That is the other acceptable answer. Personally, I respect everything he said there and can get behind it, but personally, I'm like, I am not as interested to watch the Army-Navy game as some of the other ones. Next up, it hasn't been crazy the last few years, but the Iron Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn, Alabama has got to be one of the best rivalries of all time, especially, I mean, thinking of the last couple decades, like there have been some obviously national championships from the state of Alabama. So next up, Alabama, Auburn, Iron Bowl. What you got?
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Number two for me, because it's near and dear to my heart, because I just watched Swamp Kings, the Georgia-Florida rivalry. And man, those teams hate each other.
Yep.
And Georgia's actually winning 55-42 in the rivalry.
Yep.
But the last few years has leaned heavily towards Georgia. But overall, I could see Florida really coming back.
Okay.
Because Georgia, once again, it's like all good things come to an end type of
deal.
I
just don't see it this year. Florida looks
Not
bad.
this year, no. But I'm saying
I like it in the next couple. But
next 5.
You know what? Here's what I'm going to do for this last one. There's 2 that I feel great about. So I'm going to pass it to you for pick 3, and then I'll take it last. So I'm going to defer it because I'm a gentleman.
Gosh, you are.
Gentleman.
And you have to go to the great state of Texas.
Red River Shootout.
Red River Showdown. We're doing Oklahoma and their freaking quarterback factory.
And the Sooner Shooter.
The Sooner Shooter. And then we're going to Texas, which Texas hasn't been much the last few years. But
no, so that was one of the 2 that I had. That's a great one. I like that for a lot of reasons. It's fun that they're coming to the SEC together. It's a classic one in a lot of ways. Great rivalry. But near and dear to my heart, South Carolina, Clemson.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
Tell you what, the hate that exists between those 2 schools. Been playing games since, I think it was like 1890. We've been playing football games against each other. Like, it's been a minute. 2020 was like the first year that we didn't do it in a very long time.
Yeah.
Clemson's obviously been up on the season or series all time. You know, it comes and goes. We won 5, they won like 8 or so, and now we're going to win like 20. It's great against all sports. Like, that's the fun thing about it. It's just a really good rivalry. And again, I'm invested in it. So
2 good schools.
Yeah, I had 2 brothers who went to Clemson, stayed Carolina fans. They would get all into it. So, you know what?
I bet.
That's the 3rd one. I'm glad you took the Red River Showdown because objectively, I think that's... Nope, I'm not even going to say that.
Nope. Stick with your pick.
It's up there.
Stick with your pick. And with that, if you have learned anything from this episode, it's stick with your gut.
Even if it's wrong.
Even if it's wrong.
Never admit when you're wrong. Just double down.
Joe never admits when I'm wrong or when he's wrong.
Oh, I always admit when you're wrong.
No, I know. But when you're wrong, you never admit it because you're wrong more than me and you never
Well, next time that I'm wrong, let me know.
We'll see how your locks of the week go, buddy or row.
They're picks, not locks. You see, you're already trying to gaslight me. Peace.
DJ Moore.